Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matt Taylor. Welcome to Spitball, and I'm here with my good buddy,
Kyle Amundsen.
Man, it was tough being serious for that long.
Did you guys see that shit? I didn't swear for like 10 minutes.
That was tough.
Man, I'm telling you.
Well, welcome to Pandemic Paradise here. We are at the 9th Street Social Club. Shout out to Rob and Aaron Lewis and the fam over there. We missed you guys so much, we just had to come down and pretend we were being social.
Right on. You know, we can't be social. We might as well be like at the place where people do social.
We're social at one time. Yeah. Man, Kai, going on, it's going to be fucking hard as hell for people like these guys whose entire life is around, the service industry where, like being social is their fucking motto, in this time of social distancing. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Tough on a lot of these small business owners and stuff. I mean, well, of course, now that being said, kudos to people like Rob and stuff. Like a lot of these business owners are really taking this in stride because they understand
Absolutely.
the wisdom of it. They realize it's just, it's something that has to be done. Just kudos to Rob all the way around, to Rob and Aaron all the way around.
And thanks for leaving the tap cooler on in the beer cooler. We appreciate that.
I haven't had a beer
very
since
much.
October. I'm just like,
Is it all right?
It's so good.
Yeah, I saw a post that Rob put out the other day, and I just thought it was cute where he was talking about, just how much he loves everybody and, thanks for all the support and that we're going to get through this. And then he said, be social, and then in parentheses, at a distance. And I thought that was cute.
We haven't had Rob on the show yet, but we are damn sure going to. When we can track him, when we can nail him down, he doesn't think that he's an interesting enough guest.
And he's always like, I'm so busy. Guess what, bitch? You ain't busy now, are you? You got nothing going on.
Besides being humble.
Plus, I'm sure you want to get the fuck out of your house really bad. So we are definitely going to have that guy on.
Yeah. Besides being humble, Rob is one of the kindest, most caring people that you'll ever meet. So
yeah. So cheers to you, and thanks for the beer. Yeah, like PJ was saying, the nice thing about coming here on Sundays is the booze is free. So,
right on.
Yep. So
right
come on down. No, don't come down. No, nobody's allowed.
We will fight you off.
Yeah.
We're armed.
So, lightening the mood here. What have you been doing on all your spare time?
Man, binging stuff, watching for new stuff to binge. Westworld, the third season just started.
I haven't jumped in yet.
Well, and it's on HBO, so you got to wait for like one episode at a time.
Right. That's what my thought was. I think I'm going to wait till the season's over and then I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
So I can binge it.
Then you can watch that. You can watch The Watchmen, which, like I said, is amazing. Better cast, better writing, better dicks. If you've seen The Watchmen, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, you will. Believe me, you will. But that and I haven't got into his Dark Instruments or whatever the hell. Same world as The Golden Compass, if you guys remember that movie.
Yeah, I read the books. I feel like every time you mention a movie, I say I read the books. It's like pretentious, but guess what? I read a lot of fucking books, and I love The Golden Compass. I think I even think that The Golden Compass series was better than like Harry Potter for young adults. Had a great, really cool premise, really cool story.
Yeah, and like The Golden Compass, like the movie, it's all right. I was disappointed that it didn't do better because I wanted to see more.
Yeah, the thing I like about that world is they're all into dirigibles. Like everybody flies around in blimps, dirigibles, yeah. And I just have a boner for dirigibles.
Dude, it's that really cool steampunk feel of that.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing I think was probably the fact that like in the movie you got to see like polar bears fight in armor.
Yeah. They were very cool.
Like bears are awesome anyway. Bears fighting, awesome. Bears fighting in armor,
like the bomb.
For like leadership of the clan and shit is dope. Actually, it's not a clan. A group of bears is actually called a sleuth.
Really?
Indeed.
I love like that whole like group of shit.
Like crows.
Weirdness. Yeah.
Crows
murder.
are like a murder. Yeah.
Yep. My favorite one is a group of flamingos. Do you know what they are?
No.
A flamboyance.
That's fucking
A
amazing.
fucking flamboyance of flamingos. And then of baboons. Do you know what a group of
No.
baboons is? A congress.
Damn.
Yeah.
Who gets to decide this shit?
You know what? Whoever it is, I like them.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
They do a great
Super
job.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. A congress of baboons. I'm pretty sure it's baboons. It's either, I think it's baboons. Is that beer good for you? You like it?
I like it. Thank you again,
That's
Rob.
awesome. I have been watching the season 7 of the Clone Wars.
I have not started that.
I know you haven't started it yet. It's super super good. So if you guys don't know about the Clone Wars, this is your time to act. Since you have absolutely nothing else to do.
And there's 7 seasons of this
There's
shit.
7 seasons of it.
Now they're short.
Yeah, they're
episodes.
20 minutes, they're they're half-hour episodes, but like 20, 24 minutes. It takes place between episode 2 and episode 3. Okay, so it's that time period, and it's kind of like it's about it adds like some texture to like how Anakin went from like, oh, super okay kid to like, oh, he's fucking killing, whatever. The episode before the last one, I think it was episode 3. There's a really dark part where Anakin kind of loses his shit on somebody.
And see,
It's
these are
pretty
not
fucking
like
awesome.
When people see the animation and stuff, I think a lot of people probably dismiss it.
Yeah,
like
you
these are gonna
gotta-
be like
you
little
gotta-
kid stuff. It's not.
Well, and fuck, this one is not. This season's not at all. So the first 3 seasons, they were on Cartoon Network, and they were pretty. They're great. They're great. I
Yeah.
love the story, and I'm not wrecking anything because it's
Like cool Jedi battles.
Instant-
like you learn a lot
instantaneous.
about the Jedi and stuff.
right in episode 1, or even I think it starts with a movie actually. But Anakin gets a Padawan, right? And that's been kind of controversial of whether or not that, but it's canon now. So, whatever. He gets a Padawan, and her name is Ahsoka Tano, and she's by far my favorite character in Star Wars. And then, but the first 3 seasons maybe a little bit more kiddish, but then it got canceled, as shows always do, and then Netflix took it on. And they did a couple of seasons up to season 6, and now it's Disney. And Disney decided to do season 7, and this is going to be the last season. And this will butt right up to episode 3, is apparently a thing. But Ahsoka Tano is, in my opinion, one of the coolest characters to ever grace the Star Wars universe. She's just fucking amazing. And in the first seasons of Clone Wars, she's a little kid. She's like a tiny little kid, and then she kind of grows up, and I don't know, she gets really cartoon hot. But apparently, there's some breaking news.
Yes.
Because we're all about breaking news today.
Absolutely. Because we're journalists now.
Yes.
Okay, we're not journalists. Yeah. So Ahsoka Tano is going to appear in the next season of The Mandalorian.
Right.
Played by the wonderful and super sexy Rosario Dawson. So she's gonna play Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian. I know everybody's watching The Mandalorian and shit. Now, maybe a little segue right into that. Maybe you watch
So Pates
Clone Wars.
Pates and I got into it the other night about that, because I told him that apparently I didn't know that for sure that was confirmed, but I heard that Ahsoka was going to be in The Mandalorian, and I'm like, and he's like, can she be? And I was like, I don't know, can she be? So we started doing the math, and yes, she can be. Her race, which I can't remember what the name of her race is. I should have wrote that down, but I didn't realize we were going to talk about this. But the race that she is, they live to be about 90 years old, so about humans. And I was like, yeah, no, that doesn't work, man. Or if it does work, she's going to be like an old hag, which I'm sorry, I don't really want to see old Ahsoka. I'm good, all right? I want Ahsoka to be this hot little cartoon, all right? Let's just leave it at that. But
And if you've never thought a cartoon was hot, then you're probably not a nerd.
yeah. Are you kidding me, man? Roger Rabbit? Fuck.
Yeah, Jessica Rabbit was smoking.
No, Roger. so
Nice.
apparently, their race is very force sensitive, and if they are, if they have a lot of metachlorians, they can live much longer. 200, 300, 400 years. So
Yeah,
it is
look at
realistic.
Yoda's
that,
old as fuck. Baby Yoda's
yeah,
50.
but we have but that has not. We don't know much about that race, and
Yeah, that might be the race. That might be the force sensitivity. We don't know.
we just don't know. But there's more known about Ahsoka's race, and so if therefore, so she can still be a hot 100-year-old. Okay, so don't judge it. It's cool.
Is that how that would work? Would she really be?
Yeah, because it takes place after Return of the Jedi.
But
Okay,
how far?
She's
How long after?
is it 20 years? Or
Is
8
it?
years?
I thought it was just a couple.
No, yeah, I don't know. But it's after. But if you think about it, she's a little bit younger than
Darth Vader.
Than Darth Vader. But like hard to tell how old Darth Vader is, right? But she's a little bit younger than Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Obi-Wan Kenobi's old as fuck, right? So like she would be old as fuck, right? But apparently, she wouldn't be because she's so, and she's a badass. Probably one of the strongest Jedis.
Yeah, she
ever.
fought. She like during the clone, like in the Clone Wars, she fights some pretty serious competition and stuff.
Well,
And-
I don't want to wreck anything, but apparently she fought in Rebels. She fights Darth Vader.
Oh,
Oh shit! You didn't know that yet?
no, I haven't watched
Well,
Rebels.
spoiler.
That's
alert,
okay though.
In reverse, she fights Darth Vader.
That's one of people's favorite things about Rogue One. Darth
Yeah.
Vader's appearance,
Dude, it's
just showing up.
you
and,
got
like
I can't believe you
being
haven't watched
so
Rebels.
badass.
Rebels is almost it's so good. The animation in Clone Wars is chunky. It's almost like I mean, I don't want to say it's like Legos, right? But it has this like kind of weird like blocky look. But by the time they got to Rebels, like they really upped the animation. The animation is much more realistic. I actually, I kind of almost like the Clone Wars look a little bit better, but that doesn't matter. But the action scenes are fucking amazing, and yeah, so she faces off with Darth Vader, and I don't want to wreck it, so I'm gonna let it go. So, but you need to watch it. So yeah, if you have nothing else to do, which you have nothing else to do, I really suggest Clone Wars, binge that shit, and then Star Wars Rebels, and then that'll bring you right into Rogue One, and then you can do A New Hope all the way through. Actually, fuck it, you've seen them a bunch of times, but whatever.
One thing that I did watch, second season of Altered Carbon. Was so excited about this. It
So
took a
you
long time.
got I haven't picked it back up. I'm on episode 4. Did you Did you power through?
I did, and I'm all the way to the last episode. I've saved the last episode, and I'm hoping that this last episode is awesome. Because so far season 2 is a big steaming pile of shit.
God, I hate it when they do that.
Oh fuck, it's terrible.
So maybe I won't finish. Well, you let me know about that last episode, because if that thing isn't a fucking raging hard on, then I don't want to play.
Yeah, first episode, awesome. Totally watch it.
Yeah, it was
second
alright.
episode.
Well, don't. I mean, because what's the point if it's not gonna? We'll report back on that one. Because I mean, shit. There's so much good shit out there right now. You don't need to waste your time on something that's not worth it. But if you haven't seen fucking season 1, you are missing out, because season 1 was fantastic. I actually rewatched season 1 not that long ago. A year ago, but but I zipped right through it. It's so good.
There's so much good stuff out there too. Like and we should do a damn supplemental just on binge-worthy shows.
Well, you have an assignment, and you haven't even started.
Oh, what is that?
You're supposed to give me a list of your of like movies and westerns and so on and so forth.
True. Well, right now
this Fulton Sweet Child of Mine is delicious, but it's giving me the burpees, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm burping a little bit too, but that's okay.
Yeah, like it.
But
in the apocalypse.
Man, so if anyone out there is a fan of westerns and you have not watched Godless,
God damn it, I
on
haven't
Netflix
watched
yet?
Godless yet.
Oh my God, I wish that I could perform surgery on my own fucking brain and like take out the part of my memory that remembers Godless,
So,
so
like-
that I could watch it again and like to watch it again for the first time because it's
So,
so
like-
fucking cool.
That shit's happening to me. My memory is so bad. Okay, here's a little what do you call it? Guilty pleasure, I guess. My beautiful girlfriend and I, Meta, have been watching. This is weird too. We've been watching True Blood. You ever watch True Blood?
You know, I watched the whole season.
The whole series.
The whole series, and I you know what? I actually enjoyed it quite a bit.
It's the most ridiculous show of all time.
For sure. Well,
Like-
no, it's not. I mean,
it's
it's
pretty
way
fucking
more.
bad.
Well, okay, it is more it is ridiculous.
But
there's so much
like
stupid vampire shit out there.
Yeah. Well,
that
I
this
don't-
this is wonderful.
I haven't really watched much. I mean, I haven't really watched many vampire things, so like this is the only one that I've watched. But it's like a sex soap opera with vampires, right?
Yeah, there is a lot of sex.
Tons
There's
of
a lot,
sex.
so much fucking going on.
Yeah, it's just all sex and vampires and whatever. And it's really weird because like the females in it are not like all that hot.
Are you-
But the
dude,
dudes are so fucking hot.
I have been like, okay, so there's
like,
a lot
man,
of shows
I want
out
me
there.
some Eric Northman.
Dude, there are some shows out there that I over the years have been like either women or some gay dudes are like casting these shows because in a lot of these shows you'll have you'll have some like just marginally attractive women and some ridiculously attractive men.
This show like I think was
And Eric
Yeah.
Northman is the guy. Like because he's also really cool and shit.
He is very
like
cool.
he's got all these super cool powers and stuff, and and he's naked like through half the show.
mostly naked.
And,
He's like,
You know that's a Skarsgård.
what's that?
That's a Skarsgård.
Which is
Am I
what?
saying that right? So his dad has been in a million great
yeah, I
movies.
did know that. I guess.
His brother is now in a bunch of cool shit, like Castle Rock and stuff on Hulu. So like the whole all the guys in the family, and I think there's another brother too. But these guys are all serious actors, very serious actors,
And then he was like, True Blood, I'm in.
right?
Yeah.
But
but he is awesome in it.
You know, he probably was like, "Oh, I don't have these fucking abs for nothing. Like I spend a
Right.
lot of time at the gym. Yeah, I want to be naked every episode."
Right. Yeah. But what I was saying about my memory is I've watched True Blood. I watched all of it. Like, I don't know if I loved it, but I mean, I fucking watched every episode. And I have no idea what's going to happen. No idea. And Meta's like, what? Because every fucking episode ends on a goddamn cliffhanger, which is just so dickish for them to do. It's hard as fuck to stop watching. The trick is to just watch it, then it ends on a cliffhanger, then watch the intro to the next one, and then stop at the credits, because that's it, you can do that, but it's really hard to stop.
We have to.
But I have no idea. I'm like, she's like, what happened?
It's because it's weirdly random and
got-
fucking crazy. It's chaotic.
But I'm like, I don't even fucking recognize these people. I got nothing, right? So I think I have that gift you want. Like, just wait 10 minutes, man. It'll be
Sure.
gone. I have no idea.
We should give a nod, as long as we're talking about the beautiful men on that show. We should give a nod before we hear from before we hear from the ladies out there probably the two ladies that watch Spitballing. Your wife, or my wife, your girlfriend.
Watch your
and
fucking
Michelle.
tongue.
Right? Didn't mean to use that dirty word.
I'm going to need you to stick your tongue out and then punch yourself really hard right there.
But we talked about Northman. We also have to talk about
El
Joe
Cid.
Magliano or whatever the hell
Who's
his
that?
name is. He's the werewolf guy.
Oh, El Cid.
El Cid.
That's his name. El Cid. In the show.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. But he's like big, like he's on. He's all over the internet. He's doing podcasts and stuff like that.
Is he?
He's a big Dungeons and Dragons guy.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, Joe Magliano. Fuck.
In
something
the show, that's his name, or that's his real name?
No, that's his real name.
Okay, I don't know what his fucking real name is, but it's
big,
El Cid.
big dark-haired guy
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
fucking
El Cid. Yeah, I'll take me some fucking werewolf.
dude, that guy like chiseled, awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like he's married
Super
to
good character.
Oh shit, he's married
In
to
real life?
Yeah, married to some super hot like Latina.
Yeah, because his skanky bitch wife in the fucking show is like, I'm like, dude, seriously?
Well,
Like, is that the best you can do?
well, the werewolves in that show are all like from Bacchus and shit.
Pretty much.
It's a very regional reference if you're from elsewhere.
Nobody from elsewhere watches this
It's
shit.
fucking nuts.
So, speaking of famous people, you're fucking famous.
I'm pretty famous.
Front page of the nose paper.
Man.
Crazy.
You know, so I can't wait. Like I feel like so people are giving me all kinds of credit. Now, what happened was a group of us talked about this. Like I had an idea. Oh, hey, what, you know, about a Facebook group because I spend too much fucking time on Facebook.
Right. You're
Too much
junkie.
time, you know, whatever. So I'm like, okay, you know, like, so, and then I wanted to talk to a couple of friends about it. So I just put a thing on there. I'm like, you know, like, well, so I mentioned it to a few people and I'm like, what if we have, you know, like, what if we kind of get these people's backs, you know, these emergency people and hospital people and stuff, like, you know, what if somebody's like kind of taking care of them while they're overwhelmed and taking care of us,
Right.
you know, like which is likely what's going to happen, you know, and then
This is the
so
positive
all-
side of the podcast.
Yeah.
We're only doing
So
positive.
all these people are like I didn't even, I was just going to do it on my friends list, you know, but then like my friend Andrea is like, no, we should definitely do it public. And I'm like, I thought about that, but I don't know if I want to fucking deal with that. Like, you know, what, could any good really come of that? You know,
I don't know.
She was adamant and stuff.
Quite honestly, I'm not sure if any good can come of it. But if you don't know, Kyle started a Facebook group called BLA.
A
Community
group of
Manager.
us started a Facebook
No,
group.
no, no. It's not. That's not true. You're fucking selling yourself short, and it's pissing me off. You decided that you wanted to do this thing. You got a bunch of other people around you, and you started this fucking Facebook group, and it blew up. And there's 5,000 people on there now, and it's a shit pile of work. And
That's true.
and like I was in the like formation group, and I'm like, dude, so we have a moderators group in there, and somebody was saying like, oh, this is becoming a lot of work. Like how can we make this a little more streamlined? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I haven't read shit. like I haven't approved a post. I haven't done anything. It's so much. I can't fucking read that much.
There is a lot going on.
Could I get it on audio tape? If I could get it on audio tape, I might be able to do it. But man, there's a lot of shit on there. But it is a pretty cool thing that happened, and
Well,
it was
yeah,
really
man.
neat that the paper
You know,
recognized it.
less than 24 hours, and we already had people out in the community dropping stuff off for people, picking stuff
Right.
up. You know, like making big, making donations, and like it's gone beautifully. These are wonderful people.
But if you're on the group and you're one of those people that are fucking being assholes, you got to knock it off.
yeah, there is some. There are people are really insulting.
Like
and shit
if
like
you,
that.
that's what the rest of Facebook's for. You want to be
Right?
an asshole? Be an asshole on the rest of Facebook. Speaking of which,
you've got all of Facebook to be rude to people. That's
speaking
not
of
doing
which,
on that page.
inmate, you're in jail again, aren't
so,
you? If you
so
guys,
the day after the newspaper article,
so
come
go
out,
back and watch the very first episode of Spitballing for your 7th time. And if you remember right, Kyle was in Facebook prison, right? Because it was more than 7 days
Yeah.
prison. The rules are different for Facebook prison than regular prison.
it changed the man.
And he was in Facebook prison at that time, and he finds himself once again locked up. So what happened there? I didn't hear.
you
I just heard
know-
from the wife that
Yeah, there is that. So everybody's treating me like I'm some kind of fucking saint or something. Like, oh, look, what a wonderful person. Okay, now
Front page
being
of the
in
paper,
Facebook
like-
jail does not make me not a wonderful person, but me being me makes me not a wonderful person. So like yesterday, we're on the front page for this Facebook group. Today, I was on the throne of contemplation. So every day I've still been trying to like do my. You like that, don't you?
yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. You got me on throne of contemplation.
So every day I make sure I post at least one meme that I think is really funny. Just to stick with it, like that's what I like to do. I like to make people laugh and stuff. So I post a meme on there today, and as soon as I hit the button, Like nobody reported me. As soon as I hit the damn button, and I mean, I'm on the toilet. I hit that button, and boop, it pops up, and like there's a little explanation, like I violated community standards.
What was the meme?
I will put the meme on our Facebook page.
No, you won't.
Or no, I won't.
Dumb.
I'm banned. You know what? I can still message. What I can't do is I can't post, I can't comment, and I can't like anything, which sucks. But anybody that wants to see it can hit me up on there, and I'll message it to you. It's nothing. It's fucking nothing. In fact, I was really confused. But like every time I've ever been in Facebook jail, it's been some fucking stupid trifling shit. Like I don't know if I've ever been reported. I think it's all algorithm stuff. Actually, I know I've been reported. I won the last one. I won one a couple weeks ago, like a month or two ago.
Well, I have heard that they're like really upping the biorhythm, whatever the fuck that thing's
the
called.
algorithm and
the
shit?
algorithm, yeah, not a biorhythm. It's a totally different thing. And I like when I posted the last spitballing up on YouTube, I got like a big message saying like that they're really working hard to control like misinformation and so on and so forth. And I was like, fuck, I hope.
God.
I hope they're not gonna fucking like take me off because I'm wearing a plague mask. But well, fuck it, we'll see what happens.
Man, we better be flying underneath the radar because misinformation.
Yeah. If we're putting,
Except for today, like we got some pretty solid information. We throw that shit out there, but that's like something from somebody else.
Right.
If it's coming from us, you're take that shit with a grain of salt. Maybe a whole bag of that shit.
So, yeah. So, but that was really cool. I mean, I think it's great. I know you want to downplay it, but I think that's just because you're being a bitch.
Well, it's that's what I do. I'm a bitch. But ask my old cellmate.
Your Facebook cellmate.
But I mean, we're doing a lot of cool shit. Our friend Tony Brown that was on the show. It's just how fucking networking works out. These people are finding each other and stuff. It's just networking, and it's cool to know some like smart, awesome people that are connected and stuff. Tony Brown, he tagged me in a thing on Facebook. There's some people that live in my town, the town, not my town, the town where I live now.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't own the town.
No, not yet. I will though. Once we get a little bit further into this
Right.
apocalypse,
Right.
Once walk away.
Once the mask gets broken out, then we're.
And they've got a building that they were looking to do something with. It's like they are out of town. They're like, hey, we've got this empty building. Like how can we use this to help people? And I messaged them. I haven't heard back yet. But I was trying to because I know the right people. I think we could set this up as someplace for medical and emergency personnel who think they may have been exposed to maybe go there instead of going home and exposing their
quarantine
families.
themselves away from their families. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, it's not a huge, it's not a gigantic space. We could, but I mean, if we get a few of these going, that might be helpful. I don't know. Like that's again spitballing, throwing ideas out there and
right.
shit. So that's something that that I was working on today. There's just it's just impressive, and I'm seeing people that and one thing that I meant to tell that I can't stress enough. Some of these people are the same people. Some of the most giving, generous, and helpful people that have shown up are people that I don't agree with. Like these are not like people. This is not my echo chamber on Facebook. These are not people that some of these people are damn. Are crazy. Like right wingers that I think are crazy and stuff. These are people that it's just everybody. It's not like everybody is just like showing their best selves for the most part on this group and whatnot.
Right. On this group.
Yeah, on this group
for the most part.
For the most
Yeah.
part.
But
yeah,
like,
there's still a couple of dicks out there that are like, "Oh, you're all sheep." Blah blah blah. Go well. Well, for following the recommendations of all these experts, I'm glad you feel that way. What's your fucking qualifications again?
Thank God I have the ability to delete.
Right.
Right.
Shit. Yes.
And on the other hand, I just don't read it.
But yeah, so anyway, that's that. Yeah, that's going well. It's growing. It's super cool, and I can't say enough good things about the smart people that do the heavy lifting and shit. Like I just I basically like, oh, I need to approve some posts here. Click, but like Amanda Schwarzkopf, has been super great.
Which is like the only time I'm ever going to say that. No, I'm just kidding. Amanda's great. No, but she has been good. I mean, she's been really active, dude.
And
okay,
our epidemiologist
so
friend is a great writer and stuff, and has been. Couldn't do it without her.
Like I feel unworthy to even be part of this mod group because honestly, I seriously just haven't taken any time to like fucking care about it. But the people that are doing it, I mean, it's really you, Christine, our epidemiologist friend, who just pisses me off. That I'm like, let's just fucking out her at one point.
After this is all said and done, we're gonna have a goddamn parade in her honor.
One more beer, and I'm outing her, and dragging her on the show. And Amanda Schwarzkopf. I mean, they're spending fucking hours and hours and hours a day, like going through. Oh, and Matt McCormick too.
Matt excellent.
McCormick.
Yep.
Jesus Christ,
wonderful.
The guy's working fucking 15 hours, 16 hours a day, and then he's still fucking like going on and really doing a lot of work on this thing.
Absolutely.
And then apologizing. Oh, I only had a few hours today. Fuck you, Matt. You worked 16 hours, you bitch. Like, Jesus. Don't make me bully you.
Humble and unassuming, and
if you don't know Matt, he's a ginormous human being. I mean, like
yes.
he's a big. Ogre is his nickname, and it's well deserved. So
and Andrea Dalzell, part of the Brain Trust and stuff. One of the people, one of the main reasons why we want we made the group public, instead of just like on my little in my little Facebook community. But yeah, it's gone well.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed with these people. Every damn day.
Yeah.
People are like, "Hey, I'm going to town. Who needs what? Like, I got time. I can run some errands for you. Like, I can pick up your medication. I can pick up groceries and stuff. I can bring you baby wipes. I can,
Yeah. No, I think you did a good thing. Whether you intended to or not, you did a good thing.
Once this is all said and done, believe me, I can't wait to remind people of who I really am.
Right.
That cow behind the curtain.
So,
or maybe a couple more beers.
So, explain your shirt to me a little bit.
So, I wore this shirt today. So, if you're old like we are, you remember The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So, in 1978, it started as a BBC radio show.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I thought that the book came before the radio show. Douglas Adams, great author, read like everything of his that I could ever get my hands on, including the whole Hitchhiker's trilogy. Excuse me.
We're burpy.
But on the front of...
Does this violate social distancing?
On the... so be it. Let it rock. On the front of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy...
Just kidding. Don't.
It says...
Social distance.
Don't panic. Now, that's the advice. That's like rule number 1. Don't panic. And that's some pretty solid... I mean, there's
pretty solid advice.
Yeah. I mean, there's... when you think about like all the good advice you can get, and a lot of it's pretty basic, as it should be.
Never get in a land war in Asia.
Right.
There's
like
name that reference. Bitch.
Duck. Never get involved in a land war in Asia. Pull out. All kinds of shit. But don't panic. That's some fucking good advice.
Very good advice.
And yeah, and
crush your enemies before you.
Yes.
Like, these things are like, fundamental.
But yeah, so Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, there's a recommendation. Skip the movie, because it sucks.
Ooh, Kyle's going to recommend a book.
Yeah. Well, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Restaurant at the End of the Universe, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. They're fucking hilarious.
They are good.
They're wonderful books.
I was not a huge Hitchhiker's Guide fan. I might want to revisit it though, because I mean, I was trying to read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when I could hardly read.
Sure.
Right? That was that time period. And it was a struggle because it's smart. You know, it's like it's not like high level reading, but you have to kind of like whatever. I think today I could handle it a little better than I could back then.
Sure.
I tried watching the movie and I shut that shit off because it was fucking dumb.
Yeah, yeah.
But
it really
there's a
is.
part in Hitchhiker's Guide that I just have always like I've always held on to and I thought is fucking hilarious. Is there's some creature that like is you know, just will fuck you up, but it's so stupid. If you wrap a towel around your head, it believes if you can't see it, it can't
see you. So the opposite of the ostrich thing, you know, like, which is like, by the way, I don't. If we have any ostrich viewers out there, didn't mean to offend anyone. That's not a real thing, but people do think that, you know, because they bury their heads in the sand.
Why do they bury their heads in the sand?
I don't know.
Just because they're dumb as fuck.
Yeah. And they are. And I do, you know, like, and I can't believe I just apologized
Tasty
to
as
ostrich because
shit.
I fucking hate ostriches.
Tasty.
Because I got bit by one as a child.
Did you really?
I think did we talk about that? I feel like we talked about
you
that on
got
the show
bit by
now.
wow, fuck. You know what a herd of
know.
ostriches are?
What?
I have no idea.
Oh, fuck.
Bunch of fucks.
Hey, get a hold of us if you know the answer to that question.
Please.
But
Right
yeah,
in.
I was feeding this
Send a
fucking
smoke
little
signal.
goat. We were at Deerland.
Deerland. That just came up on my Facebook the other day. Fucking Deerland. That's a crazy thing.
Me and my little sister and my folks had taken us, and so I'm feeding this little bearded goat, you know, and he's cute except for those devil eyes. So I'm like, the little kid, I'm probably, I don't know, 5 or whatever, and I'm feeding this fucking goat, and the monkeys start throwing shit at people.
There were no monkeys at Deerland.
Hell yes, there
No
were.
way.
Yeah, they had them in tiny fucking cages. It was
You're shitting
goddamn.
me.
Oh, it
I've
was so
been to Deerland.
uncivilized.
I do not remember monkeys.
By the way, fuck zoos. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. Fuck that shit.
Not either.
That's savage. But they're throwing shit at people.
Yeah.
I didn't.
If this
I
shit
didn't
gets
feel this way
really
at the
bad,
time.
I'm gonna go liberate the fucking like alligators down
Hell
at
yeah.
the zoo down there, like they do every summer.
So I'm feeding this fucking goat, and I look to see the monkeys throwing shit at people, because who doesn't want to watch monkeys throw shit at people?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
And all of a sudden, this fucking 8-foot tall monstrosity clamps down on my fucking little child hand and scares the fuck out of me and scratches up my little hand. So fuck ostriches. I want to fight your ostrich. If you know where there are ostriches in the area, I will fucking kill them because they eat kids. And I fucking hate ostriches.
right.
I
And
can't
we're
believe I
all
just-
about truth here. Ostriches eat kids. That's a
Hell
true
yes.
thing. We have facts.
Obviously, one bit me. That's
Fucking
enough evidence. That's all the
Deerland, man.
evidence I need.
That was crazy.
Man.
Yeah. So my shirt today, I don't know if you can see it. It's a plague doctor, and it says wash your damn hands. So I told you a while ago I bought a Cricut, right? Like, well, as you know, I told you guys anyway. And it's like it's a vinyl cutter, and you can make T-shirts. And Meta really wanted to make T-shirts, and she had sent me some links and wanted me to like. You've gone through a whole pitcher of beer. That's good.
Yeah, we're
Good
gonna have
for
to take
you.
a break soon because
Yeah.
I'm gonna need another picture.
So, she really wanted to make T-shirts, and she sent me some links and whatever. And I was like, okay, what T-shirt, maker do you want? Da, 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 da. And she was like, you know what? Just you fucking do the research and you like figure out what's the best one, because I'm really busy and I don't have time to do it. And she knows that I like to go and fucking read all the reviews and everything. So anyway, I ended up deciding on this Cricut, and I
'Cause
really
we like
love
reviews.
It. Yeah, I do. I love the reviews.
That's why he likes Yelp.
Oh, fuck off. I hate Yelp. And I went out. I like found the one I want. I went out and bought it. Blah 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 blah. And I brought it home, and I was really excited. And I made a T-shirt. The first one I made said, oh shit! It's from The Mandalorian. What's he say?
This is
I
the
have
way?
spoken.
Oh,
no, I have spoken.
gotcha.
Yeah. So it's got it's Mandalorian. It says I have spoken, and I loved it. It was really fun. Whatever. But somehow like, it became a thing of like of conflict with us, right? Because she was like, well, I wanted a T-shirt printer, and you bought it, and now you're using it, and you're making all these T-shirts, and da 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 da. And I was like, I want us to make T-shirts, but like, fuck, I wanted to make a T-shirt. I mean, like, whatever. So anyway, it ended up being a thing, and it took me a while. It took me a while to get to the point where I was like, oh, bitch, you got to make a T-shirt, right? And she finally gave in. I won. I don't know if I won, but this is the first T-shirt she made. Yeah, and she like came up with the design. Now like came up with the design. We stole the fucking design or whatever. But you gotta like modify it and everything like that. It was really fun. But I thought it was great. So I'm actually wearing Meta's shirt today. I actually had to ask her to borrow it to do the podcast today.
Excellent.
And she was a little resistant, but I pulled it. I got it off of her. She was wearing it at the time. It was fine. It was fun. It ended up being a fun day. But yeah. Anyway. So thanks, baby, for making a T-shirt. And, yeah, planning to do some more of that. Cool. All right. Well, Kyle's out of beer. I'm out of beer. And one more, and, I'm telling you who our secret is. So we will we'll see you in 10 seconds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ball of Spit. I'm Matt Taylor here with my good buddy,
Kyle Amundsen.
And we are at the 9th Street Social Club, getting our drink on.
Indeed. Kind of missing Rob Lou's smiling face.
Yeah, me too. So, our wonderful fact checker, my sister Shelly, just sent me a message. It says, if you haven't seen the last episode, you'll understand once you do. It's pronounced Coy Loidal, Coy Loidal, Co like coworker, all. Like the end of normal.
I'm starting to think maybe we should just call her up and ask her to pronounce it for everyone.
Right. She should just be like, if we could just have her on speakerphone the entire time and she could just break in.
I feel like that would be a lot to ask.
That she would, yeah, actually, she would just be the only one talking.
Right. At some point, she'd throw down her headset and storm away because we're idiots and she is smart.
No, she loves the show. Yeah, I mean, I've been concerned about her being down in, she's down in St. Cloud, and I was just talking to her yesterday, and she said that, things are a little bit crazy, but she's working from home now. She's a teacher. She's like, it's tough because she works with tough youth, and her whole job is building relationships, and pretty hard to do that over the internets, but she's doing okay, and they're safe, and yeah. So what do you got on your list there, Bubba?
Well, before we get into that, we were talking about, we mentioned Rob again, and I was reminded of a night that I spent partying with. It was me and Rob and Clinton.
Yeah.
And I forget who else was there. There might, no offense to if they watch this, but basically it was just three of us. And I think the next day was like Mother's Day, or it was like Mother's Day weekend or something.
Okay.
And we got all fucked up. And it turned into this I love my mother, just like telling stories about our mamas and shit like that. And it was I wish I had I would want to condense it into a 30-second video or something. But I'm pretty sure it was pretty goddamn funny. Just listen to us all go off. But yeah.
Well, I love Clinton's mama too.
Indeed. I barely know her, but I'm a big fan of the fam and stuff.
Yeah.
She seems like a wonderful lady.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. And now Clinton is a father himself.
Yeah.
And we're going to have him on the show soon. We'll talk about
once he gets out of quarantine.
Indeed.
He flies all over the country for his job, and I know he just got back and has to be quarantined for a little while. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I got some stuff. We were talking about shows, and I saw that they're making or it's made. I mean, it's done. I saw the trailer and stuff. A movie about Robert the Bruce, Scotland's greatest heroes.
Robert the Bruce. Oh,
indeed.
So okay. I love. Were you a Braveheart fan?
No.
Weren't?
I mean, there was some cool scenes, but I wasn't in the right headspace when I saw that.
Okay, so was a huge Braveheart fan. I've watched it a bunch of times. I love the show. I think it's great. But when I went and saw it, my parents were living in North Dakota, and Fargo, North Dakota, and I went up there, and my brother was there. I don't know. So I ended up, me and my brother and my dad went to this movie together, and I think it might be one of the only movies I've ever seen with my brother. And as you guys know, I'm a crier. right? And Braveheart pulled all the right strings for me. So I started crying in the scene when his wife died. It's pretty early in the movie, like 20 minutes in.
We don't have to worry about spoilers at this point.
I didn't stop until the end of the movie. And my brother like moved a couple seats over, and then he moved a couple more seats over. And by the time the
Were
movie...
you sobbing?
Sobbing. Like,
Man.
I was sobbing through the entire fucking thing. You know, and he's all like, every man dies, but not every man lives. I was like, oh, it was so fucking bad.
Did you at
my
least cry
dad-
laugh during the Irish guy's parts?
I think my dad was embarrassed. Yeah. It's my island. I loved the show. I love the show.
the Lord says he can get me out. He's pretty sure he can get me out of this. Or he can get me out of this.
Yeah.
He's pretty sure you're fucked.
You're fucked. Yeah, it's Braveheart, great show. But one of my favorite parts of Braveheart is about the Bruce, and it's when he goes to see his dad who has leprosy or whatever, and he's like he's telling his dad he wants to follow William Wallace. He wants to follow him, and his dad says to him, you know, essentially, I'm paraphrasing because I've only seen the movie 37 times, so I don't remember it word for word. He's like, it's easy to follow a guy like that because he's an uncompromising man, and when you're uncompromising, it's easy to be, to do the right thing. But we're in a position where we have to compromise and we have to whatever. And then the Bruce ends up betraying him and blah 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 blah. It was a part of the movie that always hit me really hard because I was like, I want to be an uncompromising man. I don't want to be a person that has to decide what the right thing is. I just want to do the right thing. I don't know that I ever got there, but I always thought that was a super powerful part of the movie.
It's a tough place to be. That whole being uncompromising. I understand completely what you're saying, and that resonates with me because, not because I'm Scotland's greatest hero, which is Robert the Bruce, not William Wallace. But I always think about like, like being a moderate, being
Right.
moderate in this, being moderate in that, and stuff. And I'm like deep down in my heart, I don't want to be moderate about anything.
Right.
I want to throw. I want to be in the street throwing rocks at tanks.
Right.
Now, is that stupid? Yeah, it's a rock. That's a tank. But I don't want to be moderate. I want to be a firebrand. I want to, it's just in my nature,
Right.
So I never, I have to overcome that, when I'm talking issues and stuff, when I'm thinking about that sort of thing, I need to overcome that really base part of myself that wants to say, no, fuck you.
I'm uncompromising.
Yeah.
I'm William Wallace. And
I never really thought about it like that. I never made that, but that's when you said that, I was like,
yeah. And I mean, historical
uncompromising, yeah.
accuracy aside, which I know that Braveheart had its definite flaws.
Like Blue Road.
But the concept of being a person who, there's one person who is willing to just go all in and go balls to the wall. But is that the person that really changes things? Or is it the person who steps back and is able to whatever?
Can work with people,
And
talk
can
to
work with
people.
And actually, in actual history, it was Robert the Bruce that was the one that actually ended up changing the the history of Scotland.
See, that's in Robert the Bruce, that's one of the he is one of the reasons. What I know about him from history is one of the problems that I had with Braveheart, because they make him kind of look like a bitch
Until the end. In the end, he leads the charge.
Yeah.
It was like the prequel to Robert the Bruce. And who knows how that actually happened. Whatever.
True.
Okay, but there's a lot of shit about that time period that's really fucking weird historically that people don't realize. I mean, I've gone so far down this rabbit hole in the past, but what do you know about the Knights Templar?
Man. So, the Knights, if you're I feel like if you're a conspiracy theory guy, the Knights Templar is the like the best place to start.
It's kind of like the Holy
If you
Grail.
like, if you've read like reading Dan Brown.
Yeah. Okay. He was all right. He skimmed a little bit, but all right.
Stuff like that. And I've watched some documentaries and whatnot on.
So there's
on Knights
this
Templar.
fucking book, and if you can find it, it's out of print now. It's called Born in Blood, and it's the story of how the Knights Templar became the Freemasons. All right, and it is a fantastic book. Really dry, but really interesting. But if you don't really know the history, essentially the Knights Templar were this really, really powerful religious organization, and they were like knight monks.
That
And
turned into a banking organization.
they did.
It's
That was how they.
amazing.
So they ended up. They were tax exempt by the Pope, and then they ended up basically getting crossing the Hospitallers is who they were. Who
I
they
just
were.
watched a documentary. I watched the thing on YouTube about the Knights Hospitaller. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know who they've become. The Red Cross.
Get the fuck
They
out
have a
of
direct
here.
lineage, yeah. But the Knights Templar were supposedly the Knights of Solomon, so they were the ones that like guarded Solomon's temple, and they have all this like crazy fucking iconography and all that shit like that. But anyway, so the Pope at the time, and I can't remember the exact date, but it's right around 10-ish years before the setting of Braveheart. The Pope like basically declares the Knights Templar in a legal order, and tries to have them all seized and executed. They do actually end up burning Jacques de Molay, who is the leader of the Knights Templar, at the stake. But
Who curses them
but very few other Knights Templar, and this is a huge organization, and they just disappeared, right? And like there's all this crazy shit. Like there were 80 ships in a bay in France that like ceased to exist, becoming pirates. Like that was the era. There's so much interesting stuff. I've actually worked on a book about this, where that I was
it's a coloring book.
I was gonna try to like make this into a narrative that like you could digest, and then I realized that it just wasn't smart enough to do it. But it is super interesting stuff, and
You just described every attempt I've ever made at writing.
right. They and in this book, the Born in Blood. Again, if you can find it, it's great. If you can find it, actually, I have a copy of it. I think.
A hard copy of a book?
Yeah, a hard copy of a book. Oh, this thing is old. I read it. I've read it 5 times, but I read it 10 years ago, 20 years ago maybe. And like I said, it's dry. I skip parts because it gets boring. But essentially, the Knights Templar end up becoming the Freemasons. And I mean, it's pretty solid. But during Robert the Bruce, right, era, which is basically where, Scotland rises up and wins their independence or whatever, they were seeded with Knights Templar, because when the Knights Templar disappeared, a bunch of them went out to sea, but a bunch of them went to Scotland. And so like because they're like at the end of Braveheart, it says something to the extent of 5,000 Scottish warriors stood against 20,000 British soldiers, and that's true. I mean that happened, but the people that were there were the most badass fucking trained warriors in the world, and that's the whole thing. And actually, even in Braveheart, when William Wallace went away with his uncle Argyle, right? Where do you think he went? He went and trained with Knights Templar. I mean, that's the idea. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, I went deep down that hole for a while, and it's not really a conspiracy theory. I mean, it's conspiracy fact.
Well, the Scottish have always received a lot of credit for being fierce. Emperor Hadrian built a fucking wall.
But the thing is that always bugs me is like, and maybe it comes from my prejudice of being a person that's trained a lot in their life, but training wins, right? So like the trained beats the untrained 10 times out of 10. And so when you have a bunch of like
If
crazy.
you need any confirmation on that, like we've talked about before, I've always been like a dabbler, like like in the martial arts and stuff. Like you got a little boxing, you got a little wrestling, like a little of this, a little of that. Mostly, like for my like fighting career, like just kind of a brawler and stuff. You know what sucks? Fighting a guy that trains, like
that's the
a guy with
worst.
some muscle memory, like fucking, like somebody that knows what they're doing and can keep their shit together instead of just like brawling. Ugh.
So
good Lord.
training trumps. Oh, I hate that he read
lot.
that word, but training trumps not training. I mean, it doesn't matter. So like, the idea of having these really fierce Scots that are like just passionate and willing to put their life on the line and blah 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 blah, and they stand against this huge army. Yeah, that's cool, but it's not real. Like that doesn't work.
Yeah, enthusiasm can get you a long ways.
It gets you fucking dead. Is what it ends up getting you. So like how do you outweigh numbers? You do it like they did at Thermopylae, where 300 stood against 1,000,000. And again, that's not exactly historically accurate. 300 didn't stand against 1,000,000. But in Thermopylae, the fucking people that were there were the best in the world, standing against the masses. And
because the Spartans, like that was a full-time fighting force.
All
they did was train.
All they did was train
and fight and kick the shit out of the Helots.
Hey,
which like
go ahead.
that movie. I don't know if we've ever talked about this before, but like in 300 and stuff, like which is a fucking great movie.
It is.
I love
a
it.
great movie.
I get a fucking I get a raging boner every time I watch that show. But they talk a lot about freedom, like freedom. We're going to fight these guys because we're not going to sacrifice our freedom. The reason that the Spartans were able to devote all of their time
You're
to
gonna
training
get into slavery, aren't you?
and being warriors is because they didn't do labor. They didn't do work. They worked out and they trained. The reason that they could get away with this is because the Helots were a whole fucking nation of people that the Spartans kept as slaves.
Yeah.
And that's also part of your training as a Spartan boy, as a warrior. What they do with shit like they do stuff like go murder a Helot.
Yeah.
So you'd go find some guy that's like just going about his daily business,
And I know this
and you'd
gets
fucking murder him.
This always gets like murky because it you're 100% right. But also this was a time period where slavery was like an absolute.
Everything is relative.
This was an absolute common thing.
Yes.
And I mean,
the Spartans could have been the slaves of the Helots. Everybody had fucking slaves back then.
Right. Yep. Even our glorious Athens.
Absolutely.
Right? Which is like the beacon of fucking
enlightenment
democracy
and democracy
right?
and yes.
They had slaves. So,
Now,
so
slavery
it
doesn't
is.
always mean the same thing from culture to culture, but at the end of the day, it's fucking slavery.
Right.
So like I always got a kick out of the whole like the freedom, the freedom thing, and like in a lot of these historical movies and shit, it's like it was such a part of everyday life that you can watch something or read something about somebody that fought against slavery, but that I fucking guarantee you, because of the world that they lived in, that person, the first thing that they would have done once they won their freedom was get some slaves.
Right.
That's reality. That's the real world.
So we got down a tangent on that one, but what's the deal about the Robert the Bruce movie?
Hope it's cool. The last one sucked.
What was the last one?
See,
Braveheart?
Outlaw King with Chris Pine. I love Chris Pine, and I love Netflix. Netflix made an original movie about Robert the Bruce, starring Chris Pine, who I fucking love, and it was called The Outlaw King, and it was just a little while ago. The reason you probably didn't hear about it is because it was fucking terrible.
Huh.
And I hope this one is cool because that one was not.
Huh. Weird. Yeah. That went under my radar.
Man, what's that? Have you watched that Templar show that is on?
I watched, I watched like 4 episodes and it was so riddled with inaccuracies I couldn't handle it.
That shit is my jam.
It's one of those things,
but
like,
man, I couldn't watch it either.
It's like hard, as a person who's done martial arts for a long time, it's really hard to watch martial arts movies. Like, or any, not necessarily. I mean, I can watch fucking Jackie Chan and think it's great, but like watching them where somebody's actually, and you're like, oh my god, this is not good. So that's hard. Oh, hey, speaking of that, I've been wanting to watch and I haven't. John Wick 3. Okay. But I watched a preview for it.
Yeah.
Right, and in there, he does the style of knife throwing that I do. He does he does no spin knife throwing.
That's as far as I got into that show. And
Really
it's fucking
interesting. Cool. Which I've never seen in a movie before.
Because he throws about 1 million knives in like 2 minutes.
Dude,
30 seconds, whatever.
Yeah, and he's really, I mean, I don't know that he's really throwing them, but what he's doing is completely accurate. So typically when people throw knives, they take oh, hey, guess what? I just happen to have one.
Cool.
Weird. I just got a new one. It was a little hard. So most people either throw it like this, and then it spins, and goes into the target, or they throw it like this, right? And when you do that, you have to judge your rotation, right?
Which is fucking hard.
Super hard, and it's a mathematical equation. So you have to do this like instantaneous math. It's totally possible, but you have to figure that out. Now, with no spin knife throwing, you're actually taking your knife kind of like you're holding a baseball, and you throw it and you whip it, and all the knife does is just sail straight into the target. Bam. And in John Wick, that's what he was doing, and I was like, I mean, I'd fucking raging hard on because I was like, somebody's actually doing. That's the way you would really throw a combat knife.
It's a pretty fucking cool scene.
I need to watch the whole thing.
Then you run into like the same problems that like with any action movie and stuff. Like if you watch a movie where a guy throws a knife and it hits a guy in the forehead and it buries it like goes right through his skull.
I don't know. I'd like to
his
try
brain
it,
and
dude.
shit.
Because it depends on the knife. But I have some fucking But I mean, it depends.
I mean, you'd have to be.
I'm throwing some really heavy knives when I throw. Yeah. Actually, okay. We were talking about Rob and Aaron Lewis earlier, and their son Max.
We're gonna go over to their place and throw knives at them.
I wouldn't try because their fucking son Max is the most gifted thrower I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Yeah. He's
That's fucking. That's
I
awesome.
think 18 years old. He so one night, so I have a
You'd catch that shit and throw it back at us,
dude. It's fuck kid just pissing me off.
That's great.
Well, yeah. So let me tell you the story. So one night, I have a little range at my shop where I have a big log hung up on my wall, and I love to throw knives. I love to throw axes. Me and Peyton, that's our bonding time, which we haven't gotten lately.
My brother's great at throwing axes, but I am like bonk. Now, granted, I can throw them hard enough that you don't want to get hit with one.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't matter how it hits you; it still fucks you up. You know who's amazing at it is Brock Larson.
Go figure.
I know it's weird, but they would throw actual axes.
Talk about a guy that was fucking born 1,000 years too late.
Wait, yeah,
Good
he would have
Lord.
fucking ruled the world.
Oh my god! We're sending you to the Holy Land.
You know what I would have been it back then? Brock Larson's slave. That's so. But one night.
Nice callback. Way to bring that home.
One night I'm Max came over. Max and Aaron we were throwing knives and axes, and first time Max had ever thrown a knife, and I mean whatever. So I was kind of showing him the technique, and he's like, "Oh, I get it, cool." And he's throwing, and he's fucking I'm just like, "This is fucking stupid." He's really good. And then he said, "Hey, do you think I could toss it underhand like you would a softball, like a fast pitch softball?" I was like, I don't know. Yeah, try. Fuck him.
This sounds like a drinking game.
This fucking kid. Well, I was drinking.
That's the best time to do it.
That's how I lost all my knives. So he was whipping them underhand and fucking sticking them, and I was like, "That's pretty goddamn good." I said, "Okay, I tell you what. If you can do it from there, that knife is yours." And they're $30 a knife. Not a bad. I mean, not huge,
But still,
they're cold steel knives. I bought them on Amazon. Yeah, so I lost that one. I was like, all right. Double or nothing. So I get him. He's throwing these fucking things from 30 feet. I'm out of knives. I'm like, all right, dude, you own all my knives.
So Rob and Aaron raised the next John Wick.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
Yep.
fucking dope.
Yeah. Then he comes over. Well, I like run into him one day, and I was like, he's like, hey, you want to see my spear? I was like, yes. And he's got this fucking spear. And he goes, do you think I could?
Have you met me?
do you think I could come throw it? I was like, fuck, let's go, man. So we went over, and he's fucking throwing a spear and shit. The kid is just amazing. Like, and you would think like, okay, whatever. Like you can throw a knife, but it's an actual like thing. Like, no spin knife throwing competitions, like they're real, and like people make like a living throwing knives. And I was like, Max, this is what you gotta do for your life. Dedicate your life to throwing knives.
That's
You're gonna be
dope as
fucking
hell.
amazing.
So I'm sorry. We need to take a short break because if we don't, we're going to be talking about how Kyle peed his pants on episode 39.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay. So this is the problem with being down here at the 9th Street Social Club, anti-social club, I think it is right now, is that Kyle broke the seal.
Well, I mean, I haven't I had to have beer since like October.
Oh, hey, I'm not judging you.
And today seemed like a good day for it, and so
Why?
What? Because the world is coming to a fucking end.
Right before before you go, then we'll come back because we do have a couple more things to talk about. But I was talking to my friend. I'm not going to tell you who it is because I'm not quite through the spear yet, and messaging back and forth on Facebook, and she was basically, this was early in the pandemic, and she was basically saying like, you take this shit seriously. This isn't a fucking joke.
We are still early in the pandemic.
Right. This was even earlier though. And I was at the liquor store, and I went and grabbed a bottle of vodka, and I get up to the cash register, and the lady in front of me, who has quite a bit more booze than I do, says to the cashier, she says, "Are you going to be open tomorrow?" And the cashier says, "Well, yeah. Why wouldn't we be open tomorrow?" And she says, "Well, because of the corona." And the cashier says, "Oh, we don't close during the flu season." And I like fucking turned around. I went back to the aisle. I grabbed 2 more bottles, came back up, and and then I messaged my friend, and I said, I told her that story, and I said, I'm going to be drunk for
the day that being a dumbass was good for sales.
Yeah, I said, yeah, exactly. I was like, I said, I'm going to be drunk for the first part of the apocalypse anyway. And she said, Roger that. All right, we'll be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ball of Spitters. I'm Matt Taylor here with my good buddy.
God, almost.
And we're getting drunk at 9th Street Social Club today.
Man, indeed.
Happy apocalypse. Thank you, Rob and Aaron. We appreciate the beverages.
Enjoying the Sharmageddon.
The Sharmageddon. I love that. All right. What do you got on your list? We got to get out of here.
Sooner or later.
We're only going to do a 5-hour episode today.
Indeed.
Flashback to Drew Peterson.
So, do you remember Far and Away with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah. God damn, I had a fucking humongous crush on Nicole Kidman.
Tell me that you like my hat.
I still... Oh, about my hat?
Yes. That's like the only line that I remember from that movie. I didn't even super love that movie.
I liked it a lot.
But I've used "Tell me that you like my hat" so many times. I mean, it was a solid movie. It was decent.
Tell me that you like my hat. God, I loved Nicole Kidman. So, so today I went to get coffee. So I've been trying to make coffee at home. Now, I'm a coffee snob, like the coffee snobbiest snob ever. Like I used to own a coffee shop and whatever. So I liked every day I go to Caribou Coffee in Northeast Brainerd, or I have every day for the last, 5 years. And I get the same thing. I get a large Americano, which is 4 shots of espresso with hot water, and I put a little cream on top. And then I get an extra shot, a mousse shot, they call it, which I always thought was dumb, but fuck it, I gave in. Like, I refuse to say venti when I go to fucking the other place. But, it pisses me off. But you know what? I like gave in to the mousse.
What movie was that where the guy goes off about the whole, like, because it means large in, or, you know what I'm talking about? Oh, okay.
Italy's dead now, so it doesn't matter. But recently I've been trying to make coffee at home. So I have a Chemex, which is like it's like a big vase, and you put like and you pour hot water in, and it's okay, but it's not the same, right? And so today I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to Caribou. I'm gonna get my coffee, and I get over there, and because we're in the zombie apocalypse, I haven't been putting my wallet in my pocket, and I was like, fuck, I don't have any money. God damn it, you know. So I'm like, oh, I think I got quarters in my car. So I go back out to my car and I start digging through, and I find a shit pile of quarters as well as my favorite cap. And this cap, I paid the iron price for.
Nice.
I stole this shit
Fuck yeah.
from Bob Jones. Stole isn't maybe the exact right word. He did leave it in my car, and then I was like, bitch doesn't want it, so I guess I want. But it's a fucking super cool hat. I'm sure you can see it on there, but it's
Unless they're listening.
unless you're listening, then you can't see it. It's a derby.
It's not a derby.
It's not a derby. What is it?
No, derbies are those rounded caps that you see in like a lot of like turn of the 19th century movies.
Okay, what is
the,
this?
The short
Yeah,
rim,
like what Billy the Kid wore.
rounded top
and
and shit. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
That's a derby. Okay, what's this?
That is, man. Okay, there's a couple of names, like a newsboy cap, stuff like that. But there's a name. Chris Pagnac knows it and actually corrected me on it. Sent it to me because I told him to send it to me. So I
Yeah, but I
remember that
can't
shit.
actually like take anything Chris Pagnac says seriously because he curls his fucking mustache. So
Oh, but it's a pretty amazing mustache. though.
it is amazing, but he curls it. Well, anyway,
I haven't seen Chris in a while. I miss him.
yeah, I do too. I saw him 5 months ago, here at the social club, back when we could be social. Anyway, yeah. So Bob Jones, my good friend, owns a farm on St. Matthias with his lovely wife Arlene. He bought this hat in Ireland when they were over there, but like Bob does, he bought 5 of them because he liked them. So he has these fucking hats laying all over the place, and he left it in my car one day, and I was like, oh, Bob's hat. And I put it on, and I was like, it fits me fucking perfect. It's now Matt's hat. So I was super excited to find it, and enough money to buy myself and Meta a cup of coffee today. So yeah, that's great.
So I was over at my favorite Chinese place in town, the China Buffet over there in the strip mall by Anytime Fitness.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
Yeah, it's great, and I love those
Yeah.
people.
If I'm gonna order,
and not Chinese people, like those people. What do you mean these people? But
if I'm gonna order takeout, I'm all about the Diamond House, right by Red at Night.
I haven't been there in so long.
I don't.
just 'cause
It's not a not go there. It's a takeout. Like they pretty much have like their buffet is like very minimal, but they have great takeout. Really great.
which might be the reason that so far you're immune to the coronavirus.
It could be.
I mean, I love Chinese food, and I will eat it like at the usually for some reason and I think a lot of people can relate to this. It seems like the oldest, dirtiest Chinese restaurant that you know about is the place where the food is the fucking best.
That's kind of true. That's true. Those are the 2 oldest right there.
But during my first marriage, we were.
It was like 15
at the
minutes?
Chinese place. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You remember my first wife?
I don't.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't think. Well, fuck. Maybe I do. I don't know.
Danielle, she was tall, statuesque. Anyway, she was fun.
I don't remember what happened in True Blood last night. So
Fair enough. But we got into an argument at China Buffet once. Okay, that marriage did not last long. But probably because I took her to places like China Buffet instead of someplace nice.
right.
But so we got into an argument there, and she left in a huff, and she had like the money, like you leave the house and shit, and you're like, you don't both have to carry money, like whatever. And I'm like, hey, here's the deal. And of course, the lady at the counter, she's like, no, you don't worry about that. She's like, you great customer. I'm not trying to be racist here by doing this accent. In fact, I think I've been doing a pretty good.
Keep going.
version
I
of
love
this.
it.
Love this woman too. And actually, I wound up, going home with her and leaving my wife. That's not how that story goes. But I was such a good customer that she's like, don't even worry about it. Because I told her, I'm sorry, I'll come back. I'll come back tomorrow and I'll pay this and shit. Such a good customer. It was like frequent flyer miles or some shit. She just told me to forget about it.
That seems weird to me that you were such a good customer because the whole thing about buffets is that you can, you can break a buffet.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
if one of the
Right,
two
you
of
would think
us
that
is
they
going
would
to break
hate
a
me.
buffet,
Yeah.
I would think it would be you.
Yeah, I mean, because like, no shit. Like, I don't know. I don't think we've ever talked about this before, but I have anchored some teams in eating competitions. I have eaten competitively before. So I mean, that's a real thing. I can fucking put it away. And I didn't just appear in these competitions either. I'm not just a driver. I'm the winner. Like, I've won shit before for my eating. So yeah, she was super cool about it. And when he said he didn't have enough money, I'm like, they recognized you as a good customer. No, I mean, they know you're a good customer, but you didn't. Like,
I didn't get that far.
yeah,
Yeah, like
you know, when I was like up
okay,
against it,
I
I'm
pay
like,
their fucking
oh.
I pay their fucking rent. All right,
Right.
easily, or I have up until the recent pandemic. So like, had I went in and been like, I forgot my wallet, guys, I'll come back tomorrow.
You would
they
have
would
been
have
taken
been
care of.
totally. But I realized
They
when
would have
I-
been like, say no more, fam.
yeah. But when I grabbed my cup and I was like, and then I went to grab my wallet and I was like, fuck, I forgot my wallet. So I didn't even get to the point where I was like, oh shit, I don't have any money. Then I started digging through the car and found the hat and probably about $35 in quarters. Like I hoard some shit.
Well, really, what do you do with change nowadays?
I just
You know?
fucking throw it on the floor of my car.
Fuck.
I mean, I use the... Okay, here's a funny story about quarters. So Tharg, our good buddy Tharg, he had an apartment above the Eclectic Cafe back in the day. And his custom, when he would get done with the day, he's such a weirdo. He would come in to his apartment. He'd drop his keys in this like glass that he had next to the door, like a little jar. And then he'd take the change out of his pocket and he'd throw it in his apartment. Right? And he wasn't the cleanest human in the world. And then he was moving out and moving into the apartment. It was across the hall, essentially, to his new apartment.
Oh, so this is when he lived in Ken's old apartment.
Yes, he lived in
Yes.
Ken's old apartment. And he was moving across the hall to where he is now.
We've frequented
And
these places.
The person,
we're super local.
Shannon O'Neill, the person who was taking over his apartment, Eric says to him, hey, I'll tell you what. If I leave the apartment dirty, I'll let you keep all the change you find on the floor. And Shannon made the best deal of his life. $400. Fucking $400 in change on the floor
Fucking
of
those
Eric's
apartments
apartment.
says you're fucking. That's like your deposit.
No shit. Yeah. I think the fucking rent
No,
was like
Shannon
$300.
O'Neill. That's from back in the day. Brown
Yeah.
hair guy,
Yep,
brown eyes.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was like one of the friendliest dudes way back when.
Yeah, I've known him forever.
We've talked about this forever, or we talked about this many times. So Matt does not remember meeting me. Here's the thing, Matt drank a lot back then.
Still do.
So we were when we were teenagers. Like I remember meeting Matt. He does not remember meeting me. I remember meeting Shannon O'Neill. Like it was like the same group. We had Mike Starion. Mike was like the first one. Like yeah. Anyway, but long story short, Shannon, I don't know, but I remember him from back in the day.
Yeah.
Just barely, because my memory was good back then. Because that was before I really discovered hard drugs. I mean, discovered, like not used. I just discovered them.
Found out where they were.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Shannon's a good guy. Haven't seen him in a long time.
He was always super friendly, very personable and shit like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get him on the show.
Listen. Yeah, I don't even know what he's doing these days. All right, list.
Yes. Damn it. Back to the list. Okay. Spencer Confidential was the movie with Marky Mark.
Shit, I forgot
Mark
what
Wahlberg.
mine was.
Huh? Oh,
Do you remember what it was?
do it. Find it.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, no, I don't remember.
All right. So
Um,
Marky Mark was
So
in,
Mark Wahlberg was in a Netflix original called Spencer Confidential. It's kind of an actiony movie and stuff. And you know what? I'm really tough on action movies. Excuse me. Because by and large, they like insult your intelligence. Action movies are generally fucking stupid. I mean, even if they have some redeeming qualities, they're still dumb. But like you have to, suspend a certain amount of belief and, just kind of go with it with a lot of action movies and stuff. And Spencer Confidential was fucking fun. It was, was it a great movie? No. Was it fun and worth watching? Absolutely. If that's what you feel like at the time, because, you're right you're in the right headspace, you know, like you're watching, you know, you want something like lighthearted that you don't have to like not a thinker and shit like that. Yeah, like Mark Wahlberg is great in fucking everything, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
except for Planet of the Apes, but whatever.
you know,
Forgive him for that
fuck
one.
it. But yeah, it was totally worth watching. If you haven't watched that yet and you just want something fucking like light and easy to digest, Spencer Confidential is a great movie.
So when Kyle brought that up last week, he was talking about that and couldn't remember the name of it. And I said, yeah, I loved Mark Wahlberg in, fuck, what movie? And it was
And
called,
I just remembered it.
It was called The Big Hit.
Yes.
Yeah. 1998. So that's the year the Eclectic Cafe opened, right? Chasing Amy. Like, there's two movies I can remember from that year. Chasing Amy and
Which
The
I
Big
did not
Hit.
love.
Oh, I love Chasing Amy.
I mean, it was cool because
Okay,
it was about like
actually,
guy bullshit and stuff.
So Chasing Amy, like, was probably not that great of a movie, but I watched it the night before the Eclectic Cafe opened by myself in the basement of the Eclectic Cafe in a little fucking tiny television because I was like had all this anxiety and because I was just going to launch this new thing, and I went there and I watched that movie, and it like it's a pinpoint of that time period. So whether that movie's
That's
that
a-
great or bad, or
Well,
not,
you know, it's a better movie than I give it credit for. Mostly because I watched Mallrats first,
I love Mallrats. Yeah,
and I loved Mallrats, and it was fun. It was lighthearted. You know, it was really, you know, like I loved it. And then I watched Chasing Amy, and Chasing Amy was more serious. It was a lot smarter. It was about like guy bullshit, like insecurities and stuff like that, and all kinds of.
Yeah.
And you know, and I was like, nah, you know. But that's who I was at the time. It wasn't about the movie. You know, like I remember the movie not not being, you know, not being good. But really, when I think back, I'm like, well, it was a much fucking smarter movie than
yeah,
Mallrats.
it's a
you
pretty
know?
good movie.
But you know,
But I just remember it as a pinpoint. But The Big Hit, is that what it's called? Fuck, I have no
yeah,
memory.
with that boy band group of assassins.
Yeah, so I'm serious, guys. Like, this is one worth revisiting. Mark Wahlberg is like this, is the kind of the, he's like a hitman, and he's not like, I don't know, I mean, maybe not that smart. He's in a bad relationship, whatever. But the whole story is about him trying to return a movie to the video update. Or whatever it is, the big video store. That's the entirety of the movie,
I
and it's
miss big
so
video
fucking
stores.
great. Yeah, I kind of do too.
Man, you know, Blockbuster and shit like that, and you know, what I miss about like one of the things that I miss about like big video stores was like finding the ones with like adult movies. But
Oh, yeah.
right now there's the internet and that shit. There's not even any place. for that
Yeah,
shit anymore.
it's weird, man. It's weird that like
used to
pornography was like,
If you wanted to fucking rub one out to some weird fucking like ass to mouth or whatever, like you used to have to like march that shit up to the counter and deal with the judgment.
right.
Okay, now this was my maybe this is what happened to these. Maybe that's why millennials suck. Just kidding. Millennials get a bad rap. But you know, maybe that's one of the things that like what happened in society. You no longer have to march up to the counter with your weird porn.
That's true.
You can just do that shit in the anonymity of your own. Like, yeah. Anyway, no, that's just
Yeah.
just a theory. We're spitballing here.
Yeah.
Well,
What else yet?
a unscheduled break.
Well, let's wrap. Do you have anything else you really need to talk about?
I do.
We're gonna do
I
another
really
break?
don't. No, we can wrap. I was just gonna talk for a minute about you know how the Sharmageddon here, like so gyms are closed,
Yeah.
and I am. As much as like working out has been like a huge part of my life for a really really long time, I'm not very good at working out at home.
Yeah. No, it's really tough.
And you know what I am good at home? Eating wonderful, delicious food.
Right.
So like over the course of this, you'll probably get to see me fucking balloon up to over 300 pounds. That's going to happen. And yeah, my doctor's going to be mad at me when it's all said and done. And I'm going to feel like a piece of shit. I already feel like a piece of shit. But yeah, so I was going to talk about
Yeah. No,
that.
working out at home is hard. I mean, and especially
like, and you're not rolling. Like,
right.
I
Like,
mean,
that's my like
I'm not
that's one
lifting.
issue is that like my work, like the only way that I work out is jiu-jitsu. I fucking can't lift a weight. Like, fuck that. So like it's tough because that requires the opposite of social distancing, you know, and yeah.
all up in there.
Like I'm really concerned about gyms. I mean, I'm concerned about everybody, but like I haven't actually talked to Brock since this whole like shitstorm started. But I was just thinking, man, like, how is that going to work? Like the gym's been closed for a while now. Like, how long can that happen without it like folding? And it's going to be a tough one.
Everybody's landlord and shit like that has to be a little cool if you're operating a small business on some like fucking like some margins and stuff. Like shit's gotta everybody's got like JBC used to be my thing. JBC, just be cool.
Oh right.
You're gonna have to be cool, man. Like if you can, you're gonna take a hit here and there. Otherwise you're gonna look for some new tenants and stuff like that. Like. I'm
assuming Brock will go back to work for a while. I mean, he can.
And Brock is always going to be all right. Brock could start a fucking GoFundMe, and people love him so much because of who he is and how fucking wonderful he is. That Brock would never start a GoFundMe.
I was like,
that's not his
I
style.
was like, what? No. Like you try starting.
We would have to start a GoFundMe for Brock.
He'll break something off and beat you with it. No, he'll be fine. But it's just going to be tough for everybody. I mean, even our gym. The Ultimate Martial Arts and Baxter. I mean, I know. Rob and Pam, like they run on a fine margin, and and it's gonna be tough.
Rob
does
that shit because it's his calling,
right.
Not because he's making money hand over fist at that stuff.
Yeah,
he's just a good dude that happens to be like have a passion for martial arts.
Yeah. So if you're at home and you want to do some jits, I'll just throw another one last all right, just fill that fucking thing back up.
Man,
I ain't driving you home. I have the paddy wagon out back though, so it'll be all right.
Nice.
Yeah, if you are if you're looking for some good jiu-jitsu at home,
none of this animal will go to waste.
Go to goddamn, is it KFAB? Is that what it's called? Is that where you like the fake
Kevin Federline?
No, KFAB.
Britney Spears' old husband?
No, I think it's kfabjujitsu.com.
Shit, about Daniel?
Yeah, Daniel. Him and his wife Tamika, Daniel and Tamika do a really awesome YouTube channel. And I think it's called KFAB Jiu-Jitsu on YouTube. If not, it's whatever fake wrestling means. Right? Is that KFAB?
I don't know.
I think it is.
I've I am familiar though. I watched a bunch of their videos. I'm about to ask Brock about getting my black belt.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah,
I feel like I'm a whooper.
Easy, nothing to it. Yeah, it only took me 20 years. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for you this week. Thanks for listening to our drunk ramblings. It was fun. We haven't actually ever done this. We've never actually kind of had some cocktails while we were going. So
no, we don't go the Joe Rogan path, and
yeah, which is all right.
Get high as giraffe pussy.
That'll be next time. Next week.
Not that we've never been high as giraffe pussy.
Right. I ate that brownie one time. Next week we have on Jeremy Doyle, who is a local filmmaker, super cool guy, and I'm really interested in talking to him about a bunch of movie shit. He's just really, he's really into the industry, and as long as we aren't locked down, we'll be here.
And we'll have some recommendations.
Yeah.
And Jeremy will have some.
Yeah. All right. We will see you guys next week, and stay safe. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the podcast. I just love hanging out with Kyle. I think we're going to have to do these things more often during these crazy times. I just can't. I don't even know what day it is. So I'm just going to release this thing as soon as I get it uploaded. So taking you out today, I'm going to play you one more song off of Drew Peterson's new album. And this one just tickled me crazy. I heard Drew play it live at the Roundhouse Brewery a little while ago. And I couldn't stop laughing over it. And it's called Gus. And basically the premise to the song is that this guy Gus goes into the restroom and in there he sees on the wall some graffiti, and it says Gus can't catch a fish, and he just takes it very personally. I just think the song is cute. If you want to check Drew out, go check him out at drewpetersonmusic.com, and we'll see you guys soon when we see you. Stay safe.
Tap at a corner bar, had one foot on the floor. Talking to a bartender, showing a bottle of beer was made for. Half laughing a dirty joke, my kidneys cried no more. Peeled the label from my bottle and made a wish. So I stumbled to the bathroom, following that familiar stink. Like some kind of feral cat and it drowned him in a sink. Just finished pissing, my eyes focused on my name in fresh ink. Simply said, Gus can't catch a fish. Ooh, man, that's me. Oh, man. Man, that's cruel. Damn, man, that's the meanest words I ever seen. I mean, I may be dumb, but I ain't that kind of fool. The first time my name's a shame with some sort of profanity, or questions of my mother's virtue or my sexuality. You even see my caricature engaged in bestiality, but no one's ever dared to group words like this. I might waste a few shells on a mud hen or a stray duck, even scare the hell out of a trophy 12-pound buck. When it comes to women, I'm first to admit I'm shit out of luck, but who the hell can say I can't catch a fish? Oh, man, that's me. Oh, man. Man, that's cruel. Damn, man, that's the meanest words I ever seen. I mean, I may be dumb, but I ain't that kind of fool. Broke my share, 10-pound test. My tackle box will be a stink bait mess. Don't catch muskies, cause I like sunfish pests. That don't mean I can't catch a fish. I'm about to show you how I land a fist. Just like casting, it's on the wrist. How about we have ourselves a little contest and we'll see who can catch a fish, cause oh, man, that's me. Oh, man. Man, that's cruel. Damn, man, that's the meanest words I ever seen. I mean, I may be dumb, but I ain't that kind of fool. I ain't that kind of fool.
Again. Super good.
Man.